Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the second part of Autumn's Diary, Little Vulcan Stones. I don't know why I haven't mentioned this before, but I'd like to give an account of a possible encounter I may have had back in 2007. It was at the beginning of April, and I'd been visiting Somerset and Cornwall with a friend. On the night of my encounter, we were in St Austell, staying at a B&B right on the beach. We walked to the local pub for an evening meal, and this took us parallel to the beach. We had to go through a large and busy caravan site, and along the path, next to a fenced-off piece of land, there was a pond or a small lake on it. This was right next to the caravan site. During the meal, my friend and I sadly had a bit of a falling out, and feeling tired and unhappy, I decided to head back to the B&B on my own, early. I felt really down. As I passed the area where the pond was, I could hear ducks making a din. Suddenly, something came whizzing out of nowhere and struck me on the shoulder. It didn't hurt, and I couldn't see what it was, but it felt like a small pebble. I stopped dead still and stared into the pitch dark, listening for the laughter of teenagers, as I assumed that it was a group of young people from the caravan park that must have been, tossed whatever it was at me. There was no sound, and of course the fence obscured my view. I waited in the dark, feeling pretty humiliated for about 10-20 seconds, but even the ducks went silent. Unnerved, I walked on, but then I got lost in the caravan park and had to double back past the pond area to find my friend. Again there was absolute silence. Now at the time, I was reading about Cornish piskies, and as I had an interest in the fairy folk. Now in Lancashire, where I'm from, I would say pixies, but the correct spelling, as Autumn has done it, is Piskies, for anybody that is interested in looking them up on the internet. And there are lots of books and folklore out there, and quite an interesting read. It's something I like to read about myself. We get back to Autumn. First, I thought at first it was them making their presence known. Fairy beings are very reactive to emotion, especially when it is heavy. So I thought maybe they were trying to snap me out of my unhappy mood. However, I'm now wondering if it was one of our forest brethren instead. It was a very, very accurate throw, and the pond was about 100 metres away, and the fence was well over 6 foot. It was not thrown with force either, but with accuracy. So it seems either the tree at the side of the path was not a tree, or that throw was made by someone with a supernatural ability. I did not feel malice at any time. Rather, it was more like a gesture to snap me out of my thoughts. I also wanted to report a current possible tree structure sighting for any of your researchers in the Lancaster area to check out. The first weekend of December this year, I was with my family driving north up the M6 on the South Lancs, to the South Lakes, sorry. And as we approached the big green and orange building of Lancaster University, I was looking out of my window at the woods in front of it, besides the motorway. I was intentionally looking for tree structures, and something I've started doing this year. Now, it was either the woods just before the university to the south, or the ones directly in front of it. But as we passed, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. A full-sized tree lying horizontally across two other mature trees, and it was quite high up in the air. I tried to verify the sighting on my way back, but I couldn't quite do it from the other side of the motorway, and I haven't had a chance to get back up there. However, what I saw was blatant, and there's no way this was windfall, and the tree was huge. I'd be really, really interested if anyone else heads past there and can verify this. Well, Daniela will be going up for us to take some photographs. It's a research area that Dazhow and Daniela researching, so they will be popping down, I would imagine, at some point this weekend to have a look and take some photographs for me. And Autumn finishes off by saying, I am loving the ongoing uploads and accounts on YouTube, and also the profiles of the different researchers. You've got some really good people on the ground there. I'm finding Mike's Dogman Diary is very interesting. In the places he is actually citing them, are there any bodies of water nearby? There seems to be a connection with water from other accounts that I've read. But of course, this may not necessarily be spiritual. As I personally conjecture, there are some sort of guardians of it, I think, with water being known in folklore as a liminal place, a centre, a vortex of magical energy, and also the entrance to the other or underworld. It could possibly just be a natural territory boundary for them, or because they are simply coming to drink there. Well, I too have noticed water seems important, and as I ask myself the same questions as Autumn, still never fully making my mind up the exact answer, there is one thing I am sure of. Estuaries are important to them, and the sighting accounts cluster in this kind of area. And the sightings are always within walking distance of a body of water of some kind. And all of the coasts of the UK, Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales have accounts very close to the coast. And that setup tends to be wooded areas with running in kind of corridors that lead to the coast so that you could come and go. Examples of this, I would say, the Chapel Lee Firth accounts and the accounts on the north east coast of Britain all tend to be between the nature reserves and the coast. The same again on the Scottish coast, both of the Scottish coasts, it's the same thing. The accounts tend to cluster between the heavily wooded areas and the coast, and the similar thing on the northeast and southeast coast in England. And Ireland tends to have a crop of accounts that are around one loch, and that loch is situated in the northeast of the country. And most of the accounts in Ireland, the up to date accounts, are around that one loching. So if you're heading out because you're off work this winter, don't let the weather put you off. Ideal weather for prints, and ideal weather for animal prints to see what's moving around in your area. So if you get the chance or you go for your Sunday walk, have a look around and see if you see anything. And if Danielle or Darren get back to me with the sighting on the tree and some photographs, I will add it to the account here, and I'll let you all know. And this is my last video, so I hope you all enjoy your Christmas break. Um, and do whatever you do, watch your films and have fun with your families, as I will be doing. And I will be back after Christmas, and of course I'll speak to you all in email or in Messenger. But this is the last video until next week now, so have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Until next week, good night.